Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and my name is Nova. I'm glad that you decided to stop by for a little vlog update. I don't do these on any type of schedule. I just kind of do them periodically when I feel like I have enough items to post, especially if I feel like I'm going to be sending off something soon or giving away something soon. Honestly, this video is a little bit overdue. I actually made something and already sent it off. I actually made a couple things and already sent them off for my sister's birthday, but what can you do? So, this is just going to be a little update, on like some work in progress, WIPs. I always just say WIPs, and then I like get on here to make YouTube videos, and I actually go to say like work in progress, and I always want to say work in projects. You will notice that I'm filming in landscape mode because that was requested, and also I really just meant to be doing that in general. And I'm just so used to like TikTok and, you know, like sending videos to like friends or whatever, where we're all just kind of using our phones, and I just do it in portrait without thinking about it. So I made a point of remembering to use landscape. Also, don't mind this like little pile of stuff. This is like, you know, everyone has that little catch-all spot that they just kind of like toss their like clothes and stuff in a little pile. That is that spot for me. I really need to not have that spot be there in my videos, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm just gonna start with yesterday. So today is my mother-in-law's birthday, and I did not realize her birthday was today until not yesterday, but the night before. And I was like, shoot, I almost said a different word. I am gonna like challenge myself dramatically because I've never made, I wanted to make her a hat. I was like, I'm gonna make her a hat, one of these cute little bucket hats with the granny squares. And I was like, I'm not gonna do mushroom granny squares like I have on my hat. Because I don't think that would be like her vibe, you know. I don't think she like, well, I'm sure she would appreciate it, but mushrooms are like one of my special interests, and that doesn't mean everybody, you know, wants a mushroom hat. So I was like, I'll just do like a more general kind of like a flower granny square type of thing, and just to preface this, that's not my original idea or pattern or anything. It's actually Crystal from Bag O' Day Crochet. Her granny square sun hat, I believe it is, but I do mine as a bucket hat. But you can make the brim longer and put wire in it, and you can make a bucket or a sun hat. Anyway, about it, that was where I got the idea for this, or like the concept of how to like to attach it together and how to do the top and the brim and everything. But I bought this mushroom pattern on Etsy, and then I just modified it a little bit, added some like rows around the edges to make it the right amount of stitches and the right width, because it needs to be 5 inches across. This is something that is going to matter in my story about yesterday. It needs to be 5 inches across and 15 stitches on every side. Actually, while I'm talking about this, I have one of my project bags. I have many project bags everywhere. I kind of just forgot what I was talking about. Oh, anyway, so I was gonna make her this hat, and I was like, I'm gonna do not mushroom granny squares. I'm gonna do like a regular granny square, which is like this type that Crystal uses in her tutorial. So I go through, I watch it really well, I write down my notes, and I start working up these granny squares. And like I said, this wasn't yesterday, but it was the night before last. And I stayed up till 3 a.m. making these granny squares because I was working on something else during the day, and then I was like, I'm gonna bust out at these granny squares. And then we actually had plans yesterday to play a tabletop game with some friends. It's a Star Wars tabletop game. Think of it kind of like Star Wars D&D. Not that that's really relevant, but that's what we were doing yesterday. So I get these granny squares done, and I bring them with me yesterday. And I literally work on this hat the entire day and night. We get done at 1:30 in the morning playing. And I was literally, while playing, crocheting this whole time, because I literally had just yesterday to make this hat, which was so proud of myself for how quickly, like, how I focused and was able to do this in a day. I honestly wasn't sure at all if that was even possible, but I was like, I'm going to do my best. Now here's the kicker. I wrote down my notes, and in my notes, right at the top of the page, I wrote about how these needed to be 5 inches across, 15 stitches down the sides. So I get there, I attach them all together, I do my little stitches in between, and I'm like, this looks really big. And I hadn't even done the hat yet. I already was noticing that this looked like just really big. It was like this wide when, you know, like folded, because well, I have it right in front of me now. You'll see that obviously something went wrong, but you know, they look like this. I'm already starting to work on the top, but it's like in a, you know, a circle. So it was bigger than this. And I was like, why is it so big? And I didn't have my measuring tape with me. So I'm like, maybe these squares aren't 5 inches. Like, you know, they look like they're 5 inches to me, but maybe the squares are bigger. And I'm like so confused, because this is literally the square that Crystal uses. This is Crystal Square in from Bag O' Day Crochet. So I'm like, why is my thing so big? I'm like, well, I need to try to bust out this hat while we're playing. And we were literally playing for like 9 hours, or we were over there for like 9. No, we were there for longer than that. We got there at 3. So, and other than like a short dinner break, I literally was crocheting like the entire time. So I was working on this hat that long, and I was like, well, I just got to do it. Like, I just got to make it and hope that it's not ginormous. I don't know why it looks so big. So as I'm making it, I'm like, something is wrong. I don't know what's going on with this. I ended up making the hat, and I literally made the whole hat, other than I had a couple more rows to do for the brim. There's like a hair, or that might be a hair actually attached to my head. But anyway, so I make this hat and I like put it on, and everybody's like, well, you know, like that, it happens, like, you know, trying to be nice to me, because it looked like Strawberry Shortcake's hat. I don't know if you've seen that hat, but it's like big and poofy, because it was too big. It came out huge. And I was like, I don't understand. So I get home, and first thing I do when I walk in the door is grab my measuring tape, and I measure the squares, and they're 5 inches. And I'm like, why did the hat come out so big? So I grab my mushroom granny square hat, and I measure those, and I knew they were 5 inches because I measured them when I made this hat and when I made a different mushroom one for my sister. And they're 5 inches. So I'm like, what is going on? This all happens within a matter of like 30 seconds. And then I'm looking at my hat, looking at my granny square hat that I'm wearing right now, and I realize I made 5 granny squares, because I was looking at the 5 inches up at the top of my page where I wrote my notes. And I am only supposed to put 4 granny squares in this hat. And this is something, had I been at home working on this hat, when I got to the part where I connected them together and saw how big it was, I would have figured this all out, you know? I would have done what I did literally within a matter of less than 2 minutes of being home. I would have measured it, I would have looked at my other one, and I would have realized. But because I was busy and I was working on it while we were doing this game, and I didn't have my measuring tape, and I didn't have this hat there and everything, and I wasn't like looking at the YouTube video, I was just like having my notes and like kind of doing it, you know, because I've made a few of these hats. I didn't catch it. And so I had to frog the hat. This is the first time I've had to frog like a basically finished item. And I was always, when I see other people doing that, I'm like, I would never frog like a finished item. Like I would just be like, well, you know, it's going to be quirks and all. Like that's one of the fun things about crafting is like everything is different. You know, your items are going to be different from other people's items. Like if you make a mistake, it's okay. But like this was like, I tried to come up with ideas. I was like, I could flip it over and make it into a purse. Like, and I really, really like, was like, okay, maybe I could put a lining in it. But then like, it was really round and I have no idea how to put a lining in that. I mean, I don't know how to put a lining in anything, but I get the idea of like putting in, you know, fabric and sewing it. But like with it being round, there, like the fabric just wouldn't work right. Like, I don't know. I realized the best thing to do was to frog it. So I took all the brim off and I cut the top of it because I had already finished the top and like, you know, knotted and weaved in ends and all that stuff. So I couldn't just pull it out. I had to cut out a good chunk of it and then I could pull out some of it. And get back to just my granny square, like accordion, my circle, and then remove one of the granny squares and reclose it off. And now I'm working on making the hat again. So yeah, the hat's not going to be done in time, obviously, because I needed it today. And that really sucked because I really powered through that and it would have been like perfect. Like it was very disappointing. I was very disappointed when I went to bed last night, but it happens, you know. I'm glad it hasn't happened before, really. Usually if I make a mistake, it's something small and I catch it quick enough, or it's not a big deal and I can just leave it. So this was definitely my first big mistake where I like had to frog it. It hurt my soul a little bit. So anyway, that is one of my works that I'm working on right now. And this is what it's looking like so far. It would be a finished item for me to show you if I hadn't done that. The other thing that I already sent off is a acorn bee that I made. I was making bees, and in my last video I actually showed one of them and I was working on one while I filmed. So here is the finished bee that I was working on in that last one. It came out really, really cute. I know my lighting isn't great. I really need to actually do like a video setup and bring my ring light out. It is not focused. There you go. I need to like bring my ring light out here, but like there's no point in doing it with my current way of setting everything up because I'm just filming at my desk. But I'm really happy with that. And it's sparkly, like everything's sparkly. The white's sparkly and the blue is sparkly, and then this has like the flecks in it. And then those kawaii eyes that I was talking about, they're so cute. But yeah, I need to do that. I need to bring out a light and get like a setup going. So I sent off that acorn bee already, and I will insert some pictures of it. But basically, I had made a post on my Facebook, which if you want to follow my Facebook, it's just the same. It's Nova Gnome Creations, and it's a Facebook page. And I had posted over there that I was making some bees, and I was like, I don't remember if I was like, you know, does anyone have any ideas or something like that? I can't remember. But my sister commented an acorn bee. And I was like, you know what? Challenge accepted. So I made a bee with like an acorn butt and like the little, you know, like the acorn top and the little acorn like part that it hangs from. And so you could hold it like this, and then like where the acorn part would come out of the top of the acorn, in those like earth tone colors like of an acorn, I actually made the top of a bee. So I'll insert pictures of that. It came out really cute. But I went ahead and sent her that for her birthday. And I also sent her a sunflower bee, which was nothing quite as creative. It was just a burlap baby blanket. I think the color is Sunshine. It's a sparkle color. I love the burlap baby blanket sparkles. I made a chunky bee out of that, and it was like a, you know, it's probably about that big. It's a pretty big bee. And I crocheted a sunflower and attached it onto there because she really likes sunflowers. Sunflowers are her favorite. So I made her that also for her birthday, and I sent those off already. I don't even know if I have a picture of the sunflower bee. But if I do, I'll insert that, or I'll insert a picture of my bees, the Bernat Baby Blanket Sparkle bees. I've made a few of those, so I know I like somewhere have pictures of those. And then a finished project that I also have is this Soot Sprite. I think I talked about making some Soot Sprites, but I don't think I had made it yet. So here is my Soot Sprite. And this is from Miyazaki's like film universe. If you've ever heard of Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, My Neighbor Totoro, they do a bunch of those things. But there are, why do I keep dropping everything? There are Soot Sprites, and they're just basically like little dust bunnies. And they love to get like these little star gems, like star fragments, and like collect them. I really, really like this. I want to make some more of these to put on my Etsy. But I followed a pattern that I got on Etsy for this, and I will make sure I pop that in the description box. If it's not up right away, just check back in a little bit and it'll be in there. It doesn't say when to put these eyes on. And I'm used to that being part of the pattern. Like, okay, you know, put your eyes on it, row, whatever. So I actually made the whole ball, and then I was like, I forgot to put eyes on, because you do like felt circles that you cut like a little slit in, and then you put them in here. So I just hot glued them. I just took the hot glue, put it on my, I think I put it on the Soot Sprite, and then I just pushed the eye into it. So I want to mess around with that when I'm making these, to hopefully be able to attach the eyes before closing it. I'm not sure how well it'll work, you know, considering that it's got the felt and everything, but I have done felt circles under eyes before, not this big. And done it that way, so hopefully I can figure out where to like attach them before closing, because I would want it to be a little more secure if I'm selling it on Etsy, just because, I mean, I'm gonna put in there that it's not a toy, you know. These are, I don't like really make toys. I make like items that I would expect like an older person to have, you know, like a teenager or up. Or, you know, even a kid that's not really gonna like play with them and try to eat the safety eyes. They're not for little kids, but, you know, I would still like to try to make sure they're really secure in there, because I just don't know how sturdy it would be with hot glue. And then this bad boy, I think I've talked about him at different points. This is the Space Marine that I was making for my husband. Oops. These are pretty pliable. So it was leaning back against them. So I've been working on this thing for a while. This was an undertaking. But I made this. This is called a power pack. And it was a lot of little pieces. I made this part and attached them all together. This part where this black seam is, you actually put caps, like little caps on the end, and then you make the ball, and then you make these, and then there's parts that you sew on to the top of the pack. Very, very detailed. And then it's got the pauldrons and the belt, which was like a big long tube that I made. But here's what he looks like. So these are the pauldrons, and then it's got the arms, the legs, obviously. There's a little cod piece, the big belt buckle. This is some heraldry, their wings. And here's his face. He's a Space Marine, so they wear like a helmet. I don't know how detailed you can see, but the helmet's got a lot of layers. This thing was sturdy. Sturdy. It really didn't even need to be stuffed. It was so sturdy, but I stuffed it, of course. Because it's literally got like 4 layers that you sew together to get all this shaping. And then we painted these safety eyes. They were just regular safety eyes, and then we painted them red. And then this is like a bolter pistol blaster. I don't remember what it's called. This is a chain sword, and that's a grenade. So very detailed, and he is loving this. And he has already a lot of plans for me to make more in different colors, which I'm happy to do, but I'm going to take a little break from doing that because this guy took me quite a while and is a lot of detail work. And I believe this is my last finished, well, not finished, but finished item. This is an alien, which I will put the pattern info in the box. It's another Etsy pattern. This is super soft. This was my first time using Parfait Chunky yarn, and I really, really like it. Definitely a new favorite yarn. And then he's gonna have some alien eyes. I'm just waiting on, my sister is cricketing them and sending them to me. But this was a commission for my little brother. So soft and so cute. So I got my sister, I just keep mentioning her a lot in this video, actually sent me some Parfait Chunky because I really, really love that Parfait Chunky now that I've used it. I just fell in love with it, and so she ordered me some, like just out of nowhere, just randomly had some delivered to me. So that was so nice of her. I'm really excited to work with that. And then the other item that I have is not finished. It's just another work in progress. Let me real quick go grab that. Okay, so there's actually two more things I didn't think about. I haven't updated on my cardigan in a while, so here is the thing that I was originally going to say that I'm working on. And this is a mushroom fae, is what it's going to be. Want it to focus. I'm making it out of that flecked yarn that I made that bee out of, and I love the way that this yarn looks. And it's so soft, so pretty. Trying to get it to focus back on there. There we go. So these are the legs and the hips, and then this is going to be the head. And then the arms I'm going to attach up here, and I'm going to make like a big mushroom cap. And this is another Etsy pattern that I'll put the info for, but I'm really excited for how that's going to turn out. And my other item is this cardigan that I was working on forever ago, and I have not updated in a while. I actually have both of these like halves made for it, and I'm using this really pretty sparkly yarn. This is a Hexagon granny cardigan, but look how pretty and sparkly this yarn is. I just can't get over it. I love it. And I've been working on this like passively, especially when we play our like tabletop games and stuff like that. But this is what it's going to be kind of looking like. I've got the other side of this made, and then I just need to make sure that they're both exactly the same size because I haven't done that yet. And then I will crochet the piece together like I did this one to make it into a sleeve, because right now it's just a big hexagon. And then I will see how much I need to add in between the panels and at the bottom of the panels to finish it off into a cardigan. Because obviously right now it wouldn't be my size, and this is for me. I'm so excited about that. So yeah, I will definitely keep you guys updated on that. I'm very excited about it, and it's just so sparkly and pretty. I love it. And this I'm referring to PassioKnit, like KNIT, PassioKnit goods. I think it's PassioKnit Goods here on YouTube, her Granny Hexagon cardigan tutorial. So that's it, guys. That's my works in progress and my finished makes that I haven't updated you guys with. Thank you so much if you've stuck around till this point. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're working on. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!